Yo, Michael Jr. here. Listen, I am so pumped about what just took place. I can't even begin to tell you. So I just dropped my first ever webinar. First one ever. Some of you guys might have heard about it. The response was bananas. I am so excited. If you saw it already, big ups to you. I'm blown back. Like people told me I should do this. I started digging in. And basically what we're talking about in this webinar that ain't gonna cost you a quarter, we're talking about how to go from fear to fulfillment using funny. Yeah, I am so doggone excited about this. I can't tell you. So what we decided to do is because the response was so well, we had almost 10,000 people watching it at the same time on Wednesday. So we decided we're gonna post it right here, right now, so you can watch it. And we're gonna be taking it down though. So you really wanna watch this, and we just thought we'd put it up here for you. So with no further ado, here's the webinar. It's called Funny How Life Works. And I'm pretty pumped and excited about this thing. So thanks for the love. I hope you really, really like this. And let me go ahead and start it now. Wait, my bad, that was weird. It didn't go anywhere, did it? So let's go ahead and start it now. Seemed like I would have just edited this part out, but anybody would do that. I just gotta be a little different. All right, enjoy. Yo, I'm on my way. I'll be there in a minute. This thing is starting. I'm just making some cookies. Watch it get started. It's so pumped. Let's do this thing. All right, cool. Yo, I am pumped. I'm so excited to be here. It's like my first ever webinar. I've never done a webinar before. I read the book Charlotte's Web. I've been on the World Wide Web. Some millennials, you don't even know what that is. You just like, it's the internet, dude. I met Chris Webber, and yeah, we're having good Weber outside. That's the most I could come up with right now about. Anyway, so some of you guys are fans of mine, and I so appreciate you being here. I think there's about almost 8,000 people registered for this webinar. So good looking out. I appreciate you guys being here. Some of y'all don't know who I am. You have no idea. You heard about this dude who's taking comedy and teaching people some stuff. And anyway, so let me set up who I am and then probably what it is we're looking to do. So I get to travel the world doing stand-up comedy. Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Michael Jr., by the way. Yeah, what's up? I get to travel the world doing stand-up comedy. It is so much fun. I enjoy it. I've been in front of, at one event, we had about 7,700 people there. And then in addition to that, there was like another 200,000 I was watching on satellites. It was pretty cool. Been able to do some really, really, really great events. I've been able to also, well, it's kind of weird if I tell you what I've done, like myself or whatever, but I think we got like a clip. I can show you some cool stuff. This is one of the clips we play at like one of my live events sometimes. My bad. You what? That was the wrong video. That's not the one you're supposed to be watching.
You've seen him on the Tonight Show. He's been on TED Talks. You've seen him on Oprah Winfrey, and he's here with you tonight. Put your hands together and welcome to the stage, my man, Michael Jr.
Oh, yeah. So I've been able to do some really cool things, and I'm looking forward to doing even more. Like this year, I got a movie coming out. I'm releasing a book. There's some really, really cool stuff that I get to do. In fact, some of you guys may be here because you saw my comedy special recently. Let me explain to you. So we made a move with this comedy special that really doesn't make sense business-wise, but it really makes sense with regards to purpose-wise. Let me explain. If you sing, like I can sing really good. Oh, say, can you? I'm gonna just stop now because I'm not as warm as I need to be, but I can't sing. Anyway, so if you're a singer, some of my friends, I got friends who are on tour, and normally what a singer does is they'll drop a single or they'll drop some music, and then they tour that song to get the fans to love the song. Well, with comedy, it's completely different. You actually have to write the jokes while you're on tour to kind of get the jokes, massage them, getting all ready. And then once they're ready, you film it, and now you got this really awesome product that you can then sell to a Netflix or a Hulu, and then you get paid though. Like that's how it normally goes down. That's what normally happens. So we had already toured a bunch of this content. It was ready, it was set. We even filmed it. We spent our own money. We filmed this thing in front of like 4,000 people, and it was really, really, really high quality. The next move is to sell it to like a Netflix, a Hulu, and do whatever we need to do to go ahead and get paid though. But when this virus hit, and I started noticing how much people were hurting and how much fear was out there, my real desire is to make laughter commonplace in uncommon places. And immediately our communities became uncommon places for laughter, but a common place for fear. And I really believe that fear and laughter have a hard time occupying the same space. So what I did really after coming out of prayer is I decided to drop the comedy special, not a part of it, not just a teaser, but we put the entire comedy special on YouTube for people like you and anybody else to watch and enjoy with their families. We did that, and we just decided, hey, let's just give it to the people. And the response has been really, really good. But again, it's because I clearly understand what my purpose is, what I'm supposed to do. And in this course, in this thing we're explaining to you right now, we're really about to release for you is going to be, I believe in it, is going to be the ability for you to do the same or better understand it in a pretty significant way. Now, why would I do such a thing? Why would I release this? Well, really, it started probably a little more than halfway through my career. See, I was doing a comedy show at this club in Los Angeles. I used to live in Los Angeles. Went from Grand Rapids to New York, then boom, I'm living in Los Angeles. And there's this club in Los Angeles that is awesome. It's the best club ever. It's called the County Magic Club. It's my favorite club in the world, really. So I'm about to perform at the Comedy and Magic Club. And right before I get on stage, I had a change in mindset about comedy. Now, normally when I get on stage, and this is true for all the comedians I know, whether they articulate it or not, there's a question that I'm asking before I get on stage and even while I'm on stage. And the question is normally, how can I get laughs from these people? What can I do to get laughs from these people? And if you watch some comedians, you'll see them searching in between the jokes on what they could do next to get laughs from people. Well, right before I got on stage, I did a little prayer and I had a change in mindset. I felt like instead of going up there to get laughs from people, I was supposed to go up there and give them an opportunity to laugh. This shift changed the game. When I got on stage that night, it was completely different. Like, I was more relaxed, and I actually didn't even do my first joke until like 12 seconds from being on stage. I didn't jump right in like I normally do. And in retrospect, I can clearly see what was going on. When you have a gift for someone, you don't force the gift on them. You wait, you assess the scenario, and you present the gift when the time is right. This little bitty tweak of asking what can I give as opposed to what can I get changed so much. In fact, when I'm done at the club that night, there's people that want pictures, they want autographs, people want me to hold their babies. Probably not hold their babies. Who bringing a baby to the club? I made that part up. But they want autographs and we're taking pictures, and it's like this whenever I leave this club. Normally, this is exactly what takes place. But this in particular night, I remember looking across the street and I saw a homeless guy. I had never seen a homeless guy outside this club before, ever. I'm talking about ever. But that doesn't mean he wasn't there before. That just means before, my mindset was, how could I get laughs? I was asking, how can I get? So why would I even notice a homeless guy? I can't get any laughs from him. But when I changed the question, I noticed him. And I thought to myself, what about him? How can I take laughter to him? And as a side note, we started this nonprofit called Red Blueprint, where we go to homeless shelters and prisons and abused children's facilities, and we basically make laughter commonplace in uncommon places as a result of that. But the shift that took place in me actually made me more hungry. Not just more hungry to give laughter to people, but more hungry to understand this shift and what actually has happened. Why am I so much more open to these opportunities that are so much more fulfilling? So I started doing a bunch of research and digging in and just really testing out some things. And we came up with some methods that have now been proven that helps people understand better what their purpose is or how to just live a more fulfilled life using comedy. And that's what it is we're about to explain to you. This is so exciting. I remember at one of my shows, I was talking to this dude, and he was a mechanic. I was like, so what does that mean? He said, it means I fix cars. I said, so, like, what does that mean to you? And he flat out said, it means I get paid to fix cars. So I started dropping some of these methods on him, and we started talking right there on stage in front of like 2,000 people. By the end of it, this guy takes a deep breath and looks at me. And he kind of looks at the audience and he says, you know what, Michael, I realize I actually help I actually help people reach their desired destination. He didn't change jobs. He didn't change careers. In fact, he released his job and started doing his work, which is completely different. That shift right there will put his alarm clock out of business, completely out of business. The other was causing him to hit the snooze. There's probably some people right now watching. I know there's some people watching right now who've been hitting the snooze because you don't have this shift. There's some understanding you don't have. Maybe you've heard some things before, but they didn't really penetrate you. But that can all change when you add the ingredients of laughter, which is exactly what we're about to do. Now listen, when I talk about taking some of these methods and mixing them with laughter, when you laugh, do you know that your stress actually decreases by 39%? You're also twice as productive when you laugh, like for real. Also, your memory increases by 23%. Let me say that again in case you remember what I just said. Your memory increases by 23%. And so this thing that we're about to do is gonna be so much fun. So sometimes I get people ask questions, right? Some comedians who are starting out, they ask me questions. Hey, talk to me about comedy. What do I need to know? And as I started explaining it to them and doing all of this research, I realized this actually applies to life. This math I'm about to explain to you about comedy applies to everybody. It applies to your life. So let me set it up first. Instead of me just telling you, let's do it in a much more interesting way. And I'm gonna have you just kind of watch when I explain it to some people on stage. Then we're gonna come back here. It's gonna be kind of dope. Which button do I push? First there's a setup, and then there's a punchline. Let me explain. The setup is when a comedian will use his talents and resources to seize any opportunity to ensure that you, the audience, are moving in the same direction. The punchline occurs when he changes that direction in a way you're not expecting. When you catch on to this change, you've received the punchline, and the results are revelation, fulfillment, and joy expressed through laughter. Let me give you an example. I took my family to Mexico for a week on vacation. The first 2 days were rough because the people there kept calling me a Negro. The third day, I realized they were saying amigo, and it was hard. Boom. Now, it's coffee, it's delicious. Now, I'd like to explain to you how life works, at least from a comedian's perspective. First, there's a setup, and then there's a punchline. See, your setup is your talents, your resources, and your opportunities. And most of the time, we use our setup to ensure that the people around us are moving in a direction that serves us, which means the punchline occurs when you change that direction in a way they're not expecting. You actually use your setup for other people. The results are the same, yet multiplied. It's revelation, it's fulfillment, and it's joy. But it's not just for the one receiving your punchline. It's also for you who get to deliver the punchline as well. If I ask you the question, how many of you guys watching right now, and there's probably like 9,000 people watching right now, how many of you guys watching right now know what your setup is? Because your setup is the fact that you're married, you got this job, you own this business, you got this career. Your setup is about what you have received. But what if I ask you the question, what is your punchline? Because your punchline is about what you're called to deliver. And if you know your setup, but you don't know your punchline, you'll realize on some level, you'll feel like something's missing. And what you'll try to do to fill that void is you'll think you need more setup. If I could just get married, if I could just get this degree, if I could just get more laughs, if I could just. But trust me when I tell you, what you really need to know is what is your punchline. And as I'll explain in this course that we've created, that we're gonna be offering you, even your setbacks are part of your setup so you can deliver the punchline you're called to deliver. In fact, in this course that we're gonna tell you about, we're gonna show you how to identify your setbacks, even your setups, but I'm getting all ahead of myself. Let me give you an example, an actual real life example of something that actually went down. I'm gonna show you the video of this thing, and it is so doggone cool. So the best way for me to explain to you what it's like to deliver is by giving you an example of somebody who delivers all the time, but not necessarily the purpose. When I first met this guy, before explaining to him what I just explained to you and what we're going to be explaining in this course, the thing he was delivering most was pizza. Yeah.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Yo, what's up, bro? Good.
My name's Lamar Cornelius. Currently, I'm a pizza delivery driver, just deliver pizza. You have generous people who gives you a nice tip, and then other days you have people who don't give a tip. If you have bills that's piling up, you kind of bank on going to work hoping that it's a good day. There's moments, when I'm delivering pieces where I'll have an inspiration or an idea that comes to mind. I'm at work, I have to put in the time there to make sure it ends meet, and then come home and, do what I love to do, which is art. There's 3 guys standing and 1 is sitting, but the reason he's sitting is he's actually missing a leg. 3 guys standing up, their lines are in shallow water, but this guy sitting, his line is in deeper water. Pass hurts, but it places you in a better position to catch the larger fish.
So listen, there's a family that you don't know. It's the Day family. This is a picture of their son. His name is Brexton. He's special needs, and he recently passed away.
I've always known I wanted to help people, ever since I was a little boy. So I have this art ability, and I have this desire to help people, but I haven't had the best opportunities to show my love for art and my love for helping people come together.
Let me explain, I ain't paying you.
So now I actually get to give, from something that I love to do.
So Brexton and McKeely were born 3 months premature. They would fit really in the palm of our hands, and just their little legs would hang off. They were tiny.
They were both actually diagnosed with brain hemorrhages at about a week old. And a week later, they took a second scan, just kind of normal protocol. And McKeely was completely and totally healed from that. Brexton had not. I really feel like we all have kind of a primary instrument that the Lord uses to sort of shape us and mold us and chisel us into the image of Christ. Physically was very limited. Mentally, he could light up a room, just had the most joy, the brightest eyes you've ever seen, and just engaged everybody that he ever interacted with.
We were just at this place where things were just about to get better, and one morning we just went into the bedroom and he wasn't breathing and his heart wasn't beating, and called 911, and they came and they were able to save his life. But he was never the same after that.
We're probably in and out of the hospital maybe 7 or 8 times with pneumonia, and after about a 3-week battle there in the ICU, he finally succumbed to pneumonia.
Hey you guys, I have somebody I want you to meet. This is Lamar, and he's a really great artist. He heard about your story, and he has a gift for you. Yeah, that was pretty doggone powerful. Like, Lamar went from, I'm just delivering pizza, I'm just gonna make it day to day. We got to chop it up. We actually went through like some of the same methods or tactics or exercises that I'm gonna be sharing with you in this really cool course that we have. And then he was able to push through and do what he needed to do. When I say push through, what I mean is he has some fear around delivering, so to speak. He even has some fear around doing the video project with us. Anytime you're supposed to do something that's going to help someone else specifically, because that's what we're talking about, just to be clear, your purpose, the thing you're called to do, the reason you're actually on this planet is absolutely, unquestionably going to involve helping other people. And a lot of times, because we're also afraid of rejection, we have a hard time pushing through that fear to help those other people. So I'm gonna give you a sample of the type of things we're gonna be learning through comedy, but I'm gonna show you this method. Now, I didn't come up with this method. I'm just gonna show it to you in a comedic way, and I think it's gonna help you the next time you need to push through some fear to do something. And when I talk about pushing through fear, I'm not talking about something huge. Wow, I gotta do this thing. I'm supposed to move to Africa. No. It starts out really small, and then you can work your way to something. Instead of just talking about it, I'm gonna show you. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pull out my drawing stick. This is my drawing stick right here, and I'm gonna draw this thing out for you. I'm gonna show it to you as I draw it, right? So this is really gonna help you push through the fear, whether it's something huge or something that's really small, but it might be really big to you. For example, some of you guys, well, let me just jump in, and we'll talk about it in a minute. So what I'm gonna do, first of all, I'm gonna draw this, right? And I need you to understand that I do stand-up comedy, and I like when people laugh with me. But I don't need you laughing at me, okay? I'm gonna show you my drawing skills, which I'm actually the one who coached Lamar on how to draw properly. I just don't wanna show that off right now. It's just not about that. This is about me helping you get to another. So I'm gonna try to make this look like chicken scratch as best as I can. When I say chicken scratch, I don't want to perpetuate stereotypes. So it's like turkey scratch, because I don't even eat chicken and stuff. I don't know what am I talking about? Anyway, so it starts out, I'm gonna draw this square, right? And take a square. It's gonna be an awesome square too. You take a I'm gonna draw this square. It's gonna be a great square too. Watch this. Watch. Bling! Woo-hoo! Look how awesome that square is. I'm gonna make it a little smaller though, because you can do this on here. Yeah, so this right here is a square. If you've never seen a square before, maybe it's because you are one. People don't even say the word square anymore. That's weird. Okay, let me undo that, because that was supposed to be slicker than what it just was. It's supposed to be like this. Bling. Bling, bling, bling. All right, see a little smooth move of this. So this is a square. And what this square kind of represents is it's in life, all of us, you fully, completely, entirely included, we always get these things called opportunities. That's spelled right, you just can't see it that clearly. But so we always get opportunity. So let's say an opportunity shows up for you to do something. But let's use Lamar's example. He had an opportunity to help a family. Now, he could be insecure about his drawing. He had some insecurities for sure, but this opportunity approached him. And what happens is almost like a circle. Then at that opportunity, he takes off, and he could seize this opportunity. But in order to truly seize this opportunity, the only way he could do it is he has to go through this little bitty opening right here that you could barely see from this perspective, that I'll refer to for this demonstration as the threshold of fear. The the threshold of fear. Now here's the opportunity up here, and Lamar starts going towards, and the only way he can really seize this opportunity is by going through the threshold of fear. Now, if he chooses not to, because he lets his fear take over, what's going to happen is he'll still continue to move, but his next stop is actually going to be this place called justification. Yeah, let me spell that. Justification. Yeah, justification. You know how to spell it. Look it up. So he's going to go from opportunity. If he can't press through this threshold of fear, he's going to go to justification. He could say stuff like, man, I don't really have time to draw for her. I'm barely making it with the pizza. Where am I going to get the art supplies? I don't really know these people that well. I don't want to cry. He could have came up with all sorts of reasons. If he said no to this opportunity to help people, in order for him to feel right about himself, he would have started to justify it in his mind as to why he shouldn't do it. Justification is one of the largest reasons people don't push through and accomplish what it is you're called to. And then after you're living that justification for a while, you actually continue moving, and you land at this place called the illusion. Illusion is spelled illusion of, we're just going to abbreviate. You land at this place called the illusion of control. Yep, you're right there. The illusion of control. You actually think that you're in control. So Lamar could have said, you know what? I'm a really good pizza person. Like, I deliver all the time, on time. The tips are pretty cool. I don't have to put my artwork out there. I don't have to, I'm doing all right. This is where I'm supposed to be right now. I just gotta, like, he could actually think he's in control under that circumstance, but he knows deep down inside, he really wants to help people. And he knows he had that opportunity, but he has to justify it so he can feel like he's in control, because we always want to be in control. And then what happens next? Well, what happens next is he goes to another place with a different opportunity. And he lives right here in this same circle, no matter what the opportunity is, he's just gonna live right here. This is where he'll be. Until he's able to break out, he will continue to live right here. So the key is to be able to push through the threshold of fear. Now, a lot of times you'll only notice this threshold of fear when it's a huge opportunity, but there may be some small opportunities right around you that it can work as this, if you're lifting weights and getting stronger and stronger. As weird as this may sound, there may be somebody in your life that you know that you really care about, but you don't really tell them enough that you love them. Maybe that wasn't said in your household, it's just not a normal thing, and you want to say it, but you keep forgetting, or you want to give someone some encouragement, you want to say that thing, but you just haven't. You're just coming up with some excuse as to why not, whether you're articulating it or not. So if you could just practice with those little things and just say to your wife, hey, you know what? I've noticed how much you've been doing like around the house ever since we had to be in quarantine, and I just really appreciate it. Or just to flat out look at your son and be like, hey man, I love you. There may be a little fear for some of you, but I'm telling you, if you can push through that threshold, check out what happens next. If you can deal with the little thresholds, you're gonna end up right out here, which is awesome. It means you made it out that box. And the crazy, amazing thing that happens next, let me see if I can do this in a way that's gonna make some really cool. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's dope. It happened. Boom. What's going to happen next is you're going to find that you actually have some now bigger, larger opportunities. And the more that you decide, the more that you just step out and say, you know what, enough is enough, you're going to find that your opportunities to help people and to deliver what you're called to deliver will actually get bigger and bigger. But you gotta start somewhere. You have to start somewhere with pushing through that threshold of fear. You gotta build your muscle up so you can actually do it, because in no time at all, you'll be seizing opportunities and your fearfulness muscle is gonna grow, and it's gonna be like kaplow, and then your square is gonna be way bigger than you ever imagined before. But you gotta press through. Like you just absolutely, unquestionably gotta press through the threshold of fear. Otherwise, remember, you're gonna just stay in this circle. Some people are living right here. Let me see if I can change the color. I'm gonna make it me. Some people are living right here. I just use brown because that's what I am. Some people living here expecting to somehow miraculously jump out here. And it just doesn't work that way. Like it just won't work that way. You first have to be a good steward with these little things. You have to, fear sometimes is confirmation that you're supposed to do it. Like fear is not something, like if the fear you're feeling is lasting, like if you're constantly thinking about it, then that's not good fear. Good fear only lasts for a moment because it was like a warning. But if this is prolonged, no. You're dealing with something you need to push through, and the thing you need to push through is threshold. So you can get out here and be a little brown dude and happy and celebrating. Yay, that's celebration. That's not rain. And that's what you got to do to push through the threshold of fear. This is so awesome. Yo, I hope that was pretty dope for you. Like I really, really do. So now, why are we here? What is it I want to tell you about? So what we've decided to do, and what we've been working on for a while, even long before this virus and stuff jumped off, is we really, really want to help people. At my live events, if you've ever been to a live event, you'll know that it's probably 85% funny and then like 17% deeper content. You try and do the math on that? Well, that's good math, okay? Because every time, we always give 110%. Carry it. Whatever, do your own math. You can figure it out. So more importantly, not just the funny, is we always try to make a deposit into the people. And a lot of you guys watching right now, you always come up and you ask, hey, how can I get some more of that content, the stuff that I was learning? They show up with notes. So what we've been working on is we've been compiling all of this insight that I have and mixing it in with comedy, and we created this course that we want to offer to you, and the course is called Funny How Life Works. The reason we created this course is because my desire is really, really, really to help people. And I know when you laugh that there's just some amazing benefits that happen when you laugh. First of all, you actually retain up to 23% more information. So when you laugh, you're actually gonna get it, and then you can walk it out because you don't just have to take notes, it's going to be in you. So that's why I wanted to make this course funny. On top of that, you actually become 2 times, at least 2 times more productive in anything you do when you add laughter to it. And in addition to that, there's so many stats on what happens when you add laughter to stuff. You also, your stress reduces by 39%. So in this course, if you don't do anything but sit back and watch this course, your stress is gonna drop. You're gonna retain up to 23% more information, and you're gonna be twice as productive as you were before. But in addition to that, the content we're gonna give you, we believe is gonna go right to your heart, and some great stuff is gonna happen as a result of it. In fact, we've tested this already. We gave this, I shouldn't say we gave it, people paid for it at my live events, and the response, the feedback that we got from them has been awesome. In fact, let me read a couple to you. I'll just read a part of what some people wrote back to us, like Shirley Hubbard. She wrote, this is pretty cool. She said, in this course, there are a lot of aha moments. She said, aha, it could be ha ha as well. I like what she did there, or maybe that's just me. She said, there's a lot of aha moments throughout these lessons, which prompted me to examine my intentions and reassess my skewed perspective. Yo, that is pretty dope. That is awesome. And then Barb Petrella from York, Pennsylvania, she said, funny how life works was valuable and timely for me. With a transition in my life and getting older, I was looking for new ways to help others. The Funny How Life Work course applies to all walks of life. So she enjoyed it. Like, some people are taking this course and they're immediately taking action. Like this one guy I met there was a prison, a youth prison 4 miles from his house. And now that's where that guy goes on a regular basis to help those people. He hadn't even noticed it before, but because he started asking a different question, he started getting different answers. We'll do one more. This is Gerald from Trenton, Texas. This is dope. It says, funny how life works gave me focused perspective. It also gave me more of a perspective on my setbacks and how they have great value. That is awesome, Gerald. Yo. So you probably know, if you've ever been in one of our events, what really takes place. We probably do like 85% funny, and then there's like 12%, like 17%, whatever, you can do the math. The rest of it is information that we believe is gonna penetrate in a way so that community, so those people can be even better and go out and make a difference right where they live. Now, a lot of you guys have approached us afterwards and asked us questions like, hey, how can I get some more of that content? And that's one of the reasons we created this course. The other reason is because I wanna have a bigger impact than just making people laugh. So we actually created this course and we tested it out on tour, and we would sell it to people, and we just asked them, please give us your feedback. And they gave us their feedback, and as you can see, it's been really, really significant. So what you're going to get in this course that I'm so excited about, this course again is called Funny How Life Works, because we're using funny to help people understand how life works so you can be inspired, so you can walk in the purpose that you're called to walk into. So what you're going to get is you're going to get 24 lessons that is laced in funny. Every single lesson comes with a video that's going to give you some exercises and some really cool things that you can do with your team at work, or you can do with your family. That's going to stretch you in a really cool way to help you discover what it is you're called to do. It's going to kind of help you see the things that have been around you all along. We're going to help you understand what your setup is. There's a lot of resources and things you have that you may have not noticed before, and we're going to help you with that. Another thing we're going to do is we're going to help you identify your setbacks, but more importantly, we're going to show you how to utilize your setbacks. And then we're also going to show you how to deliver your punchline. And we're going to do this while you're laughing the entire way. So I am so excited about this. I can't even begin to tell you. And normally, if we sold something like this, and I know this is going to sound like an infomercial, but that's just because they took all of the good vocabulary to help you understand what it is we're offering. So normally, we did all of the math, and this would probably be like $300. And if it was $300, that'd be a great deal. But we're actually going to do better than that. Because of what's going on right now, we can actually do better than $300. But in addition to that, when you buy this right now, and we can only do this for like a limited amount of time because of our inventory, if you get this right now, we're also going to give you, yo, I gotta show you, this is so dope. We're gonna give you, one thing you're gonna get is 2 times the funny. What is 2 times the funny? Well, this is the audio from our first comedy special, along with a documentary of us going to homeless shelters and prisons and abused children's facilities, and basically hearing their stories, and then we go there and bring them laughter. You actually get to see these people who are in some hard situations break through. It's actually a really good example of what happens when you deliver your punchline. In addition to that, now that's like $20 at my show. If you come to my show, that's actually $20. You're also gonna get funny for a reason. This is my first CD. It's like 45, 50 minutes of funny, completely different than what you've probably experienced if you've seen me on tour lately. So you're gonna get this entire CD. It's normally $20. It's funny, and then on the back end, it's a really cool message that's different than what you're gonna get in here that's gonna inspire you in some pretty dope ways. So we're gonna add this to it as well. And then you're also gonna get Break Time CD. This Break Time CD is a CD of all of the jokes that happen in between the show. Now I have scheduled jokes that I do, but sometimes I talk to audience members and funny just happens, and this is the best of that. Also, 20 bones at the show. Then you got my DVD, what is it? No, that was a different one. I was gonna say Funny How Life Works, but that's what you getting right now. This is called Laughing on Purpose. This right here was filmed in front of 4,000 people, Dallas, Texas. We're gonna actually give you this as well. One of my favorite jokes on there is I say, oh, you ever see a dude with a white tank top on, like a muscle shirt, but he don't got no muscles? Like, what is that, a wife threatener? That's one of the, yeah, I'm gonna pause because I'm sure you're laughing right now. Anyway, you're gonna get this as well. Very excited. This is 20 bones at the show as well. And then you also get the no-show experience along with the study guide that comes along with this. And you get them all in a really dope bag called the Michael Jr. Laugh Bag, which is normally a value of $110. So I have been wanting to release this for a while now. We've been working on this for quite some time, and the timing is absolutely perfect. I mean, what a great time to really dig in and be entertained, yet at the same time, get some understanding about what you should be doing next. I'm so pumped about this. You understand, like I've been working on this diligently, me and my team, for a while now. And the fact that we can offer it at this price, well, first let me break down what the price is. So you're gonna get this, you're gonna get a pretty dope deal right now. So you're gonna get the entire course, the whole course. You're gonna get the laugh bag and all the items in it, all of the really cool stuff in there, which is normally like $410. Ask me how much it is. Like, no, like ask me for real. No, like ask me. What? I can't hear you because it's a video. We're doing all of this for $97. Like you get everything for $97. I am so pumped that we get to do this because the timing is crazy. The reason we can do it like this is because I'm not on tour right now. So all of the inventory of the merchandise that we would normally be selling, we're not out there selling it. Therefore, I can add it to what we were already gonna offer you at this time. The course, I can add it there for just $97. This is so doggone awesome. I really, really want you to get this. But we can't do it for long because there's like, they told me like 9,000 people watching right now. We only got so much inventory that we can do this for. So I believe the carts, this will be available for like 5 days. After that, it's gonna be back up to its regular price. But I really want you to get this. Like really, really want you to get this. You're about to see a link pop up, or maybe there's already a link there, or you can go right now to funnyhowlifeworks.com and order it right now. It'll show up. Like by all means, you really, really, really should take advantage of this, for real. In addition to that, you should really consider, is there somebody else that you know who really could use this course right now? So while you're in the cart, if you want to, you can go ahead and buy them a course as well. That'll be pretty doggone awesome. If they get in their inbox and they see that not only can they be entertained, not only can they get away from all of the dramatics right now that we're hearing about in the news and all of the sadness, but they can also learn and grow. This would be a pretty dope gift for somebody else. Speaking of gifts, this is what I'm gonna do. Hey, do we have those, CD? Wait, I'll be right back. This is dope. I'm just dropping this right now. Please don't prepare for this. Where'd it go? Okay, it's right here. Here's what I'm gonna do. So remember the CD. So remember Break Time CD and Funny for a Reason. Here's what I'm gonna do. These are like 20 bones. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna give you the download to these just because. We're gonna add that on top of it. This is like a $40 value. So we're gonna add that on top of what you're already getting just because. So this is a pretty dope offer. If I was me, I would get it. At any rate, regardless of what you do, I need you to spend some time. You should make a choice to spend some time, one, in some laughter, even if it's not with this course or what we're doing, but also, how can you grow during this time? What can you do to become better at who you are at this time? How can you improve yourself at this time? If I can be a part of it and you want to do Funny How Life Works, let's do this. Let's jump in. Let's get it done. But you have a purpose. There's something that you're called to do, and only you can do it in the way that you're going to get it done. And that's where true fulfillment is. You have a setup. I'm sure you have some setbacks. Now there's a punchline that you are called to deliver. And I want you to deliver it. We need you to. The people right next to you right now need you to deliver it. And them people who are not next to you because we are doing social distancing, they really need you. So listen, I appreciate you. I love you. Go to funnyhowlifeworks.com. Click on the link below. Do whatever you got to do so you can get your course, your package. I appreciate you so much. I love you. Like on the real. I'm Michael Jr. About to bounce. Bounce means to vacate the premises.